All right. What up, people? We are back at it with KHE episode
3.
As always, Derek with benDy Tubes. First and foremost, thank you to our sponsor, KHE Bikes. Go check them out, khebikes.com. We're talking KHE after 06. We can't mention KHE without the man, Wolfgang Solder, and his Tantra frame that you can see there. First, the dude was a stubble duck machine, linking those tricks one after another, like so clean, so controlled, so precise. So this bike dropped in 07 for sure, and maybe was as early as 06, and rode through about 08. Big, slopey bends on the top tube and the down tube. They intersect in the middle with a little weld in there. Bent seat stay to help with the stubble ducks. Dimension, 75-degree head tube angle. Rear center, 12 inches. Weight, 4.37 pounds. And like an 18.79 top tube. The chainstays are the main differentiator of the size of this bike with the other bikes. So it's super short compared to the 13 and a half we've seen everywhere else. So it was a frame, it was a complete, it was an F set, it was a non-F set, another upper tier bike, around 900 bucks at the time. Swiss Miss, Tanaka's, 22 pounds complete, freaking sick bike. And the Easter egg here is so, quick time check, it's right now, and we are not done. So next, KHE worked with Braum Ver to make the RIP and the TOY, or I'm gonna call it the toy. So according to our KHE, Braum's first frame was the RIP in 06-ish, and it's worth noting that Bram was 18 whenever he got his signature frame, which shows you how good he was at such a young age. Production run was originally limited to 180 frames, so it was so limited. But from a design standpoint, Bram wanted something that was a bit of everything. Crissy-crossy, check. Bends, check. Bodacious 74-degree head tube angle, triple, check. Dims are super solid, top tube 18.85, chainstay 12.9, head tube again 74-degree head tube angle, 100% Senko Japanese 4130 chromoly, 14 millimeter dropouts. Such a sick bike. Also, the paint is absolutely amazing. Almost black, but kind of bronzy with some phantom sugar skulls whenever you see it in the light. And the Easter egg on the KHE RIP, these little braces here on the seat stay and chain stay where they intersect at the seat tube have little cross designs, which is pretty cool. You may not know that. I mean, it's the details that make this thing so amazing. So this frame to me was peak KHE from a design standpoint. And in my humble opinion, it is my favorite frame. It touches all the elements which made mid-school design magical. And there are other frames that are amazing for sure, but this one really stands out to me. Love it. Then we played around and found out and got the toy in 07, which is ding, 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 our second monotube flatland frame. Massive gusset up front on the top side of that monotube supporting the head tube, interesting sleeve welding at the bends, and really clean whenever it's built up as a complete. Between this and the Tubo, I would choose this if I'm being honest. Now this was ultra limited, maybe 4 prototypes in totality, and it's so rad that this Facebook user is restoring one right now. So sick, 478 millimeter top tube, 328 chainstay, just a phenomenally rad whip, and really another great exercise in design by KHE. Next, the RIP was so popular and people didn't get a lot of the opportunity to buy it, so they had to make a zombie frame, and the RIP Resurrection was resurrected. A second iteration of the amazing RIP, very similar, but this time white with the same phantom sugar skulls. Some of the updates, more butt aid and the tubing to lose a little bit of weight in areas where it's not needed. Dropouts were improved. The chainstay tubes are more narrow to avoid troubles with small sprockets. Inside seat tube is fluted to save weight, and this was limited to only 60 frames. another absolute banger. If the black one's my number one, the white one is also number one for me. And also news to me, Bram actually recruited Matthias Standewa. And here's a picture I've never seen before of Matthias riding an RIP. KHE was actually Matthias's first large sponsor. Information. It's beautiful. And finally, we've got Adam Kuhn in his ADamn lineup. First off, Adam was so good for so long and is still killing it. Ultra progressive, super hard tricks. His monster whip is nuts, so I remember watching that video over and over and over again. But back to bikes, in 2010, it was all completes. The ADamn is an F-set equipped entry-level flatland bike. Some slightly bent tubes afforded some space, but not as kinky as later versions. Smaller with an 18.5 top tube, great for beginners. Not a ton of details or references on the interweb, but here is a picture. The LT got a kinkier frame, front brakes, Swiss Miss, but more mid-tier than top tier. Super clean though, kind of Psychonecta-ish with the double kinks, but they're more subtle than the Psychonecta for sure. Built as a complete, this ultra teal is the easy way to tell this specific version of the ADamn. And then there is yet another pro tier top level model. And where did I learn about this? None other than ESPN. Mind blown. Tomas got interviewed by ESPN about the BMX industry, so that's where I found this picture. And this picture shows what in fact appears to be an ADamn, a KHE ADamn Pro with Tanakas, Swiss Miss bars, some Hendies, Max, Geisha lights, Alchemies, the whole 9 yards. Love the silver, white, and black vibe. Maybe a German only release. Absolutely wild. It's the one that I'm currently riding. And a key point really late in this video, Thomas mentioned that in that ESPN article that he liked to keep like a 2-year development cycle. So we see that a lot. Da Function, Tantra, not a lot changed. Paris, 1 or 2, like 2 years for each model. So that makes sense to me. Like, you get a bike, you like a bike, you ride it for a couple years, maybe you want something new, maybe not. You're not in this hyper obsolescence cycle like we have with technology where every year something new is coming out. I like the 2-year cycle. That's awesome. So in line with that last statement, in 11, we got a similar version as the 10 Pro with some slight updates and offered as a pro tier frame only and a pro tier complete. But there was also a mid-tier offering. So for the pro frame, same kinky design, once again, 100% heat treated, under 4 pounds, details below. The complete color scheme and details are the big change. One call out, this may have been very few bikes with black geisha hubs. Previously, they've been purple and gold and copper and anthracite, but black I haven't seen before. And this bike is so clean. Great geometry, dual kink, built-in seat post clamp, stuff like that. Like another banger of a top tier pro level flatland bike. But in my digging, I also found in 2011 an ADamn AD. I had no idea this was a thing prior to my research, but finding this crazy website, testbike.hu, has helped me uncover some gems. Mid-tier, straight tube, hint at the mid-school generation ending design, 1925 top tube, 4130 chromoly, Tanakas, Swissies. This time a reverse free coaster instead of the Geisha, White Max, stuff like that. And finally, in 2012, the ADamn model lineup goes bonkers and super new school with the ADamn ST, AD, and Pro. Starting out with ST is offered as a complete. This was their new school flatland offering. Front brakes only, backs could be used, double diamond, snafu rim job looking tires. Details are light, references are few and far between. Note here that they dropped the Swiss Miss bars at this point that existed on previous completes and went with these bars that Adam designed himself. Overall, super dope entry-level rig. Then the AD was offered as a frame or a complete. As always, starting with the frame, deets below, but this is their mid-level new school flatland model that is effectively the same frame as the 2010 AD that I mentioned earlier. But when we talk completes, it gets more interesting. Super silver, white max, brown grips, matching seat post clamp. Love the color scheme. 21.8 pounds, same dims as the ST, so not bad. Once again, 2-piece bars, ADamn AD forks instead of Tanaka's, another reverse free coaster debut, and a departure from other completes, but KHE through and through. And finally, the 2012 Pro offered as a frame or a complete, which is another absolute dream of a top tier bike. New school, standalone frame from the AD and ST. This one has the below mentioned dims, rocking a super rad 74.5 degree head tube angle and ultra light 3.86 pounds. But the complete, oh buddy, another top shelf whip. $1,400 back in the day, same frame, attic forks, 2-piece bars, minimalism stem, geisha lights, alchemy, max, watanabe, 19.8 pounds, people, 19.8. So dope and super green grips. Really amazing bike. I recall seeing one on eBay, unbuilt, untouched, like 2 or 3 years ago. Oh man, I wish I would have jumped on that. And again, I dig so you don't have to. In 2014, there was a second release of the ADamn Pro frame. This time a kit and a complete. The kit, same frame with the new color scheme, new seat, attic forks, A-blast bars, and the best looking stem in the game, the KHE Minimalism 2. The complete, similar to the first generation, just another top tier banger of a bike. It may not be mid-school, but this is such a sick bike. And to find it on Amazon in the Netherlands and Sweden is just silly. So cool. And y'all, I believe that is the last mid-school signature frame from KHE in their Flatland lineup. But they didn't stop there. In 2013 and 2014, they made an Evo Zero F. Back to basics, entry-level flatland bike, front back brakes, free coaster, traditional dims. Looks like in 2014, this model finally leveraged their newest internal rotor system, the Affix gyro system. And y'all, that's it. Pretty much, I think. Crazy. Like, I think I counted 19 or 20 completes in total. So many bikes, so many ranges, such a complete and massive offering. Like I said, favorite company, love them so much. Thanks again to Thomas for helping close the information gaps. Thanks to Mark for the pictures and the insight and all that. Thanks to KHE for sponsoring this video and just putting such a definitive stamp on mid-school flatland BMX. This was a long one. I'm sorry, you're welcome. It was a fun one, but we're out. And thanks for watching. Derek, benDy Tubes, we're out of here.